Hey folks, how you doing? So, I, I don't know where this video is going to be seen, but if you're seeing it where you're seeing it, that's where it's probably supposed to be. Anyways, I was thinking about something yesterday while I was out grocery shopping. And, I was thinking about the world that I am, presented with. I almost made this video on my phone while I was shopping, and then I realized as I was formulating that wouldn't be that great of a plan. But I was thinking, okay, let's work with this analogy for a little bit. I like to play with my cat. Most people who have cats play with their cats. Cats seem to enjoy this sort of thing, so we do that. Um, and I like to play with my cat. He likes to fight. And the thing is, he can't keep track of two hands. So I'll get him interested in this hand. And he's ready to fight on this hand. And I crack him in the back of the head with this hand. And it catches him by surprise. And he's like, what, you son of a bitch. And so he's attacking this hand. And I get him attacking this hand. And I crack him in the back of the head with this hand. I keep going back and forth, crack him in the back of the head because he can only keep track of one hand at a time. And for a cat, it makes sense. They're hunters, right? You're engaging the hunting instinct. So they focus down on the prey. Cats who didn't do that didn't survive very well, So knowing this, I use that to my advantage to keep him jumping from prey to prey to prey. Much fun is had by all. We enjoyed it. It's a good, 15, 20 minutes. Slapping the cat around. Cat loves it. I love it. We're all good fun. Human beings, although slightly more complex than cats, aren't too terribly different. We have trouble focusing on more than just a couple of things at a time. So all you really need to do to get a good slap at the back of our head, or however else you want to do with it, is just keep us attacking here, crack, get them attacking here, crack, get them attacking here. Just keep people bouncing around like that, and you can start doing all kinds of stuff to them. Because they're not paying attention to what you're doing. The hand they're not paying attention to. They're paying attention to the hand going, look at me, look at me, look at me. Focus on me. In a way, that's what's happening, And people are dying over it, is the thing. You see, what's happening is we've allowed ourselves to slip into perpetual war. I mean, look, if war on terror has any end game to it, please let me know. What do you call a win on the war on terror? Are people no longer terrorized? So amorphous. There is no end point. It's set to go on forever, and we're there. But we allowed ourselves to go there by people distracting us, going, look over here, no, look over here. And they just slide on in. I was thinking about that. I was going, man, why don't we have a strong anti-war movement? Well, maybe there's hope for the youth. And then I realized, no, there is no anti-war movement coming from the youth of today. It's not going to happen. And it's not going to happen because people join the military, late 17, 18 years old, 18 through your 20s and on, that's when you do the military. We have an entire generation of people now who are currently graduating from basic training in the military, going off to do their military service and serve in the war on terror, who have never known anything different. War has become normal. And it's all happened because people are looking over here. Look over here. These people growing up, how can they protest a war when they don't know that there's not supposed to be war? How can they? They grew up, they don't know a world without it. When they were toddlers, before they were forming memories, their parents are going off to fight Iraq, Afghanistan, and now it's spread over to Africa and Asia, and we're fighting. It's essentially a global war, but nobody's really talking about, not in any great detail, and it's become normal. How can there be an anti-war movement when war is normal? Why did war become normal? Because 1%, and that's just something that's come up since 2008, calling them that, but it's essentially the oligarchs, the ruling elite, the rich people who have bought and paid for our government. They did it. They did it because as we're in war, every bullet fired, every tank, every uniform, it's all paid for by taxpayer dollars. And, it used to be when people realized that war was bad and we should try to avoid it, you could only make those sales and those dollar figures when we had a war, which was inevitable. It was going to end, defeat Germany, defeat Japan, defeat North Korea, which, that was a spectacular failure. But hey, we had the DMZ created out of it. We went at war to have proxy war against the Soviet Union. We do all this stuff, but there was always an end goal. And you could only make your sales and end this war during that sale season known as war. Now we have endless war. Their sales are perpetual now. I'm loving it. I'm loving it so much that, what they need to do now is they need to make sure that the rich pay as little taxes as possible, and they don't support the poor as little as possible, and they're working on doing that. And they've got some brilliant new distraction methods working with a president that is largely reviled by the very people who would actually fight against the things that they want to do. And he's constantly going, look over here, look over here. Watch this hand. Stupid tweet, stupid tweet, stupid tweet, stupid tweet. Take away your health care. Oh, but you love it. It's a good thing. You like it. You like it. Stupid tweet, stupid tweet, stupid tweet. Bang! Your taxes are raised if you're middle class or poor. That's what they're doing. They're fucking distracting us, I mean, you start getting up there, Russian scandal. Hey, Russia's filling all this misinformation in, distracting people. That's the big story. Well, what do? Hit him in the back of the head. Somebody touched my butt 20 years ago and I feel bad about it. Oh my God! Heads explode! Distraction, distraction, distraction. Net neutrality is dying. Where's the segue from that? The 1% are orchestrating it. Who owns the cable companies? Who owns the ISPs? Who owns all this shit? Rich people. And when net neutrality is, they kill that. Now they can set it up so you can pay to play. You can buy your privilege. Rich people love being able to buy privilege because they can afford to do it. The internet's going to belong to the rich. College has been set up to where if you are not rich, you are going to go into perpetual debt forever. Unless you're part of the 1% that fights in the military in the endless war, funneling profits to the 1%. That's another thing. We're not going to have a robust anti-war movement because only approximately 1% of the population actually serves in the military. The other 99% is busy being distracted by fucking, they touched my butt 20 years ago. Stupid tweet, stupid tweet, stupid tweet. Most people are completely unaffected by the war on terror, so they're not going to protest against it. Only 1% actually serves, and they are serving because war is normal now. There'll never be an anti-war movement. And while we keep being distracted, the rich keep buying up. The rich keep setting it up so they can buy the privilege you pay to play. Hollowing out the middle class. Soon, we're going to have the rich overlords and slave labor. That's it. We're wage slaves. We can change our masters, but we cannot change our chains, and our chains are debt. And our chains are debt because we've got to pay for the endless war that we've got to send 1% of our youth into fighting, and we're not even noticing. Distraction, 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 slap you in the head, endless war. Distraction, 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 slap you in the head, rich don't pay taxes anymore. I mean, we're not there yet, but that's where they want to go. And we're walking ourselves into it. Don't even know. Don't even notice. When I try to point this out to people, they go, hey, you got your tinfoil hat on a bit tight, don't you? Ha, ha, ha. Yeah, it'd be funny if it wasn't blatant out in front of you. Just look. They're not even really hiding it anymore. Anyways, those are just thoughts I had while I was going to the store. I'm going to upload this, and depending upon you where you see it, depends upon where it's at. And so theirs is that. Thank you for your time.